Good evening, I'm Ken. I'm the one with the purple and gold signs. I'd like to start with thanking the Acton Women's Club for holding the first structured and objective candidate forum I've ever been to, and for all the other great work you do in the community. My fellow candidates, my incumbent candidates, I'd like to thank you publicly for getting enough consensus to seat our new superintendent, our new administrative team. I'd like to thank you for that. To the people who are running for the first time, thank you for dedicating enough of your time to come to board meetings so you understand what is happening with our district, so you're ready to hit the ground running. And for everyone, don't worry, it's only 6 more weeks till you find out if you won or lost. Before I get to the me and I did this and that part, I want to remind everyone that nothing I have done as a board member holds a candle to what happens with our teachers in our rooms full of students every day of the class of the school year. That said, it's been a very humbling experience for me to sit on the school board. My favorite thing is to look out across the sea of these colors at graduation day and know that there's a great promise going out into the world. We have a great group of kids here and they deserve the best. Okay, here's the me part. Most of you don't know this, but I'm a very sensitive and loving person. My wife Carissa and I have lived in Acton for 14 years. We have 2 district students. This beautiful specimen right here graduated in the Vasquez class of 2018. I am a public sector employee. I've spent the last 17 years of my life managing a program for a world-renowned municipality with the highest customer service standards. I know what good public service looks like. Prior to seeking election in 2016, I spent 5 years in the audience of board meetings learning the district's business. I was seated without any interests or alliances that would take away from my focus on what's good for the students of this district. During my first term, my goals were to reduce fiscal dependence on out-of-boundary charters, to restore focus on local students, and improve the reputation of our district in the greater educational marketplace. In the past 2 years, I believe the district has made measurable progress towards each of these goals. Now you see a full district parking lot every day, district office parking lot, district administrators visit school sites, and the students and staff actually know who they are. Our charters are validated by meaningful hearings, and no other school district is suing us right now. Yay! This is a time of great promise, and I'm glad that I'm a candidate this time, especially at this time. Thank you. For the bond, about 2 decades ago, the school district decided to keep its local high school students here. At that time, there was no money spent on building a new school. So for the past 2 decades, there's been bits and pieces pulled out of budgets across all the other schools to support a new high school. When the new high school bond came through, we have a new high school. It's time to go backwards in a time machine and fix up the things we've neglected for the last 20 years. Any questions? Thank you. I want to support the current staff and administration's focus on our local students and educational outcomes. And I think that begins with providing the continuum of curriculum from grade to grade and from site to site. I think we need attention there. I think we need attention in measured management of the charters, which means how many full-time equivalents, what's money's coming in, what's coming out. I'm tired of it being beat up by the legislature and the state. I think we need to pay attention to our facilities, bond or no bond. We need a management matrix that's measured, that's prioritized, and says, these people work here, they do this in this order. Without those 2 things, we will never recapture the ADA we need to fund this district and to avoid having to come up with these schemes that we're looking for funding out of some kid in San Bernardino. That's what we need. Thanks.
Let's start with Mr. Pfalzgraf, and we'll go towards the left. And here's the first question from the audience. What would would you suggest regarding actions to take to improve the school facilities should bond CK fail?
I think I answered that the last one. We need a facilities maintenance plan. In progressive organizations, you know what your facilities are. You have an idea of what's wrong with them, the priorities, how you would fix them, and you would assign funding that way. That's pretty simple. That's just common management in any governmental organization. But if you don't have that plan, you don't have it published, and you don't know what it is, you're strictly reacting to things, and you lose opportunities to fix things that need to be fixed right now, but that escalate and become more expensive later.
One of the audience members, and this is a mother of 2 small children, try not to let it buzz, who will be attending the Acton Agua Dulce School District. She's concerned with the 4th and 5th graders being forced to attend the junior high school. And she would like to know what you would do to ensure the students will be physically separated, meaning elementary students stay with elementary students in the appropriate schools.
The school is not open is because of the short-sightedness of a previous administration. They vastly underestimated the volatility of a charter revenue source, and then they put adults ahead of children by ripping out 2 perfectly good classrooms in a library to make an executive laboratory. Now, I sit up very high. I did a movie in March of 2017 about the boardroom. You'll find it. That's what I say. But I do have to compliment the staff. These solutions that you're hearing are common sense solutions, and that's what's happening on our side. Unfortunately, our current administration is left holding the bag on some poor decisions in which adults were placed first over children. To already be on the school board. If you look at the 5-year plan developed by the last administration, you'll see the charters were involved. And the charters that the trade programs are going to were going to be run by 2 ex-employees of the district, right? Not right. I don't think that people find out that they're not going to school in 11th grade when they get mostly F's on the report card. I think that actually starts in 7th grade. And I think Dr. Weiss, when she has her site stabilized, you'll find out that her background is actually she ran alternative and adult education program, which is exactly what this is, when she worked for Ventura County Office of Education. It's already in the hopper. This is nothing but a scam which has taken money that should have been used for water development in the state and desalination and things like that to create false economies in every cattle town north of us. And everybody in Palmdale is like, oh, we're finally going to have a job, and then someday it'll be like one of the boom towns I drifted out of in Oklahoma in 1986. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. These people over here have been working on this for 10 years. I'm not going to take credit for their work or STRS or anything else that they've done. But as typical to government agencies, you identify what you need to do as a school board, develop a checklist that supports them, and then take your input and move it off to them. And I think we've done quite a bit of that already. I trust you guys explicitly. There's nothing I can do for you.
The question I have is, if someone were to make a decision that you know will place the district in an illegal or even just a precarious position, what will you do?
I would run for the school board and win.